Imagine this moment. You're running towards the port, shopping bags in hand, and you see your cruise ship slowly pulling away from the dock. This isn't a joke. This is the nightmare scenario that happens to a few passengers on almost every single voyage. Your passport, your money, all your belongings are on that ship, and you are stranded alone in a foreign country. This nightmare is the result of 8 simple tactical mistakes. My name is Kai. For 10 years, I've worked on these floating cities, and on every port day, I've witnessed the same tension build on the bridge as our departure time approaches. Those last 15 minutes, the running shadows we see on the pier, the crew radioing, passenger 8244, they're running, they're coming, and sometimes that call never comes. Missing the ship isn't bad luck. It is almost always the accumulation of a series of small, preventable, tactical errors. Most passengers feel safe in port. They fall into the false assumption of, surely the ship will wait. Let me tell you a secret. The ship will not wait. The ship is a multi-million-dollar logistical operation, carrying the fate of thousands of passengers and hundreds of crew. It pays tens of thousands of dollars in fines for every extra minute it stays in port. It will not risk that entire operation for you to have one more margarita. Today, I'm going to tell you the 8 deadly mistakes you need to know so you never have to do that run of shame, so you never live that nightmare moment, and so you never end up stranded and alone in a foreign country. Mistake 1. The what time is it? Gamble. Local time versus ship time. This is the number 1 and most innocent-looking reason for missing the ship. Remember the $1,000 phone bill trap I mentioned in the embarkation day video? Well, this is its more dangerous cousin. You get off in port. You take your phone off airplane mode, and it automatically connects to the local network. And what happens? Your phone's clock automatically updates to the local time. Maybe it's an hour behind, maybe an hour ahead. You plan your entire day based on that correct-looking time on your phone. But here's what you don't know. Cruise ships, especially when sailing between multiple time zones, will often stay on a fixed ship time to avoid confusion. The ship's departure time of 4:30 p.m. is based on that ship time, not the local time on your phone. So, while you're looking at your phone, seeing 3:30 p.m. and thinking, oh, I still have an hour, it's already 4:30 p.m. ship time, and the ship is already blasting its horn for departure. We call this the time zone trap. The shock you feel when you arrive at the pier and see the ship, that's the moment your vacation ends. Tactic. On day 1, ask the crew, will we be using ship time or local time? Before you get off, check the all aboard time printed in your daily planner, and most importantly, never trust your phone's clock. Either manually set your phone to ship time while in port, or wear a simple cheap wristwatch and set it to ship time. That $10 watch can save you from a $5,000 disaster. Mistake 2. The deadly difference between a ship tour and a private tour. Port days are expensive. The cruise line's official shore excursions are often 30–40% more expensive than the local tours you can find at the pier. So the smart passenger books a cheaper private tour online. I'm not stupid, they think. I'm getting the same tour for half the price. This may be the most expensive gamble of your vacation. That price difference isn't just a tour fee, it's an insurance fee. Let me explain this as an insider. If you are on an official ship-sponsored shore excursion and that bus gets a flat tire, gets stuck in traffic, or has an accident, the ship must wait for you. The captain is in constant radio contact with the tour operator. The ship cannot and will not leave until that bus is back. But your cheaper private tour, when that minivan breaks down, the captain has no idea. The responsibility is 100% on you. The ship will start its engines at its scheduled departure time, and it will leave. This happened last season in the Mediterranean. A private tour bus coming from Rome, a 1.5-hour drive from the port, got into an accident on the highway. 16 passengers. They couldn't get back to the ship. Did the ship wait? No. Those 16 people had to find their own way, by train or bus, to the next port, Naples. That cheap tour cost them thousands of dollars and a full day of their vacation. Tactic: calculate the risk. If the port is right in the city and you're just doing a 1-2-hour walking tour, a private tour is fine. But if you are going hours away from the port, like to Rome, Florence, or the inland waterfalls in Jamaica, do not take that gamble. Buy the official ship's tour. That price difference is the insurance premium you pay for the guarantee that the ship will wait for you. Mistake 3. Misunderstanding the all aboard time. This is another version of the what time is it gamble, and the most common logistical error rookies make. The ship's schedule shows 2 times: all aboard, 4:30 p.m., departure, 5 p.m. The passenger looks at these 2 times and makes a simple calculation. Great. The ship leaves at 5 ganoand. 4:30 is the last call, but I have a grace period until 5 anoand. No. That is 100% wrong. The all-aboard time is not a suggestion. It is a rule. It is the final second the doors are open. At 4:30 p.m., the crew must close the gangway, finalize the passenger count, and begin the departure operation. When you arrive at 4:35 p.m., the ship is still there, yes, but the gangway is closed. The crew will not stop the entire operation, unhook the moorings, and reopen that heavy gangway for you. You may only be 5 minutes late, but those 5 minutes mean you missed the ship. You will just have to stand there and watch the crew wave goodbye. Tactic: forget the ship's departure time. That time is not for you. It's for the captain and the port authority. The only time that matters to you is the all-aboard time, and you should treat it not as your deadline, but as a goal to be back at least 30 minutes before. Your rule should be, all aboard is 4:30, my final boarding is 4 p.m. Mistake 4, leaving your passport on the ship, the false security trap. On embarkation day, we told you to keep your passport in your carry-on. But what about on port day? Most passengers are terrified of having their passport stolen or losing it. So, they lock it in what they think is the safest place, the stateroom safe, and they go ashore with just their ship card, or maybe a driver's license. This is a tactical error that can lead to 2 different kinds of disaster. Disaster 1. Some countries, especially in Europe or certain islands, legally require you to carry your physical passport, or at least a photocopy, to even leave the port area. If you don't comply, the port authority can detain you and not allow you back on the ship. Disaster 2. The worst one. You made mistake number 2, private tour, or mistake number 1, timing, and you missed the ship. Congratulations. You are in a foreign country. You have no money, if your credit card is also in the safe, no clothes, and most importantly, no identity. What do you need to fly to the next port or go to your country's embassy to get temporary travel documents? Your passport, where is it? In the safe of the ship that is slowly sailing away from you. Tactic: before you get off, ask guest services. Is it mandatory to carry our physical passports in this port? If not, take a clear photocopy of your passport and another form of photo ID, like a driver's license. Never walk around with no ID. If you are taking a long or risky private tour where you could miss the ship, don't risk it. Take your physical passport, a portion of your cash, and 1 credit card with you. Keep it in a waterproof pouch, not just a wet beach bag. Your safe can't help you after the ship is gone. Mistake 5. Blindly trusting local transport. The taxi trap. You've disembarked. The city center is 10 miles away. You think, I'll just grab a taxi, look around, and come back. This plan is a recipe for disaster. Why? Because when you get in a local taxi, you are ceding all control to a stranger and to the conditions of a city you don't know. That taxi driver might rip you off by taking the longest, most traffic-filled route back. The car might break down, or the driver might simply not show up to take you back from the beach. This happens in every port. Passengers trust the cheap taxis right outside the gate. The driver says, "Don't worry, I'll pick you up at 4:01 p.m. 4:01 p.m. comes. The driver is nowhere to be found. The passenger then has to scramble to find a new taxi, haggle a new price, and sit in traffic. And often, they are too late. Tactic: never rely on a single plan. If you hire a private taxi, do this. Confirm the price, round trip, before you get in. Take a photo of the taxi's license plate and the driver's permit. Have a plan B. What will you do if the driver doesn't show? Are there other taxis? Does Uber Bolt work there? Where is the nearest bus or train station? The safest option is to use the ship's official shuttle service. It might cost $10 more, but at least it's guaranteed to get you back on ship time. Mistake 6. Straying too far. The over-adventurous. This is the same logic as the same-day flight gamble from the Embarkation Day video. You're in port and you have 8 hours. You look at a map and see an amazing temple or a secret waterfall that's 3 hours away. You calculate 3 hours there, 3 hours back. I'll spend 2 hours there, it fits perfectly. This is not a plan, this is a suicide mission. In this plan, your margin for error is 0. If you get a flat tire, if there's traffic, if the train is delayed, you're done. You've missed the ship. As crew, we worry about any independent passenger who goes more than an hour away from the port, because we know that at the slightest hiccup, they won't make it back. Tactic: be realistic. Your 8 hours on the ship's schedule does not mean you have 8 hours on land. Factor in the time to get off and back on, 1 hour total, and a safety buffer, at least 1.5 hours. This means your 8 hours is really only 5.5 usable hours. Does your destination fit comfortably within that time? If a place takes 4 hours of round-trip travel, don't go. Enjoy Plan B, which is closer to the port. Mistake 7. The just one more syndrome, intoxicated logic. Remember the overindulger from the Passengers Hate You video? That character's port day version is even more dangerous. You're in the Caribbean, you're on the beach, the rum cocktails are cheap and delicious. You say, "I've still got time, just one more." That one more destroys your ability to think logically, to track time, and to perceive danger. Intoxicated logic works like this. The ship leaves at 4:30, it's 4:15, I can run there in 10 minutes. Real logic. The ship leaves at 4:30, it's 4:15, the gangway closed 15 minutes ago. I've missed the ship. A large percentage of passengers who miss the ship are the ones sitting at a bar during that final hour. The ones who fall asleep drunk, who lose all sense of time, or who get into an argument over the bill and waste precious minutes. Tactic: if you drink in port, have a rule. Stop drinking at least 2 hours before the all-aboard time. Allow your body to sober up and your logic to return. Getting back to the ship is your #1 priority. Mistake 8. Ignoring local laws and culture. Tourist arrogance. This one won't get you left behind by the ship. This will get you arrested in that country. And the ship will absolutely not wait for you to get out of jail. Some passengers act as if they are still under the ship's rules when they go ashore. They are not. They are under the laws of a sovereign nation. Getting drunk and disorderly in public? The Hate You video passenger just gets a warning on the ship. In port, they get arrested. In some Caribbean islands, like Barbados or St. Lucia, wearing camouflage-patterned clothing is illegal as it's seen as mocking the military and it's grounds for arrest. Trying to enter a holy site in shorts or a disrespectful t-shirt will bring you into direct conflict with the locals. Your tourist freedom ends where local laws and culture begin. If you are caught shoplifting or get into an arrogant argument with a local police officer, you will be detained. What does the ship do? Nothing. Our security staff cannot retrieve you from the local authorities. We will advise you to contact your embassy, hand your passport, if it's on the ship, to a port agent, and we will wave goodbye. Tactic. Before you get off, do a 5-minute search for that port. What are the basic laws, cultural taboos, and dress codes? You are a guest. Act like one. Conclusion. Don't live that nightmare. That's it. 8 simple tactical mistakes. As you can see, missing the ship isn't bad luck or a major disaster. It's an accumulation of small, silly mistakes like getting the time wrong, trusting the wrong tour, or leaving your passport in the wrong place. Reimagine that moment. You're running in the harbor and the ship is moving away. You don't have to live through that nightmare. Plan. Know your time. Calculate your risk. And most importantly, be on the ship at least 30 minutes before all aboard. I'm Kai. I've seen those nightmare moments on these ships many times. Apply these tactics so you never become the hero of that story. Travel smart.